So, once again, a very warm welcome to this Sunday lecture, Sunday talk. We have a wonderful, wonderful topic once again in our hands called inner peace. This topic is very applicable, especially to today, because the times are very uncertain. We have just gone through a very hard year and a half with a pandemic. So let's listen how we can enhance our inner peace. And as usual, we first have the presentation, and then we do have time for some question and answer session. And of course, you can post any of your comments as well in the chat box, and we will then read them out. And then we finish our joint time with a beautiful meditation. And then our guest speaker, she's a very special person. She has visited Finland once for now. We hope there will be second and third time, of course. And she comes from London. She's based in London, and her name is Alka Patel. Alka owns a great experience of spirituality. Her spiritual path started already about at the age of 9. So she's a very experienced yogi, and she has this beautiful skill to share and teach spirituality. At the moment, Alka is working, or actually she has dedicated all her life for serving Brahma Kumaris, and she's based in London in the International Coordinating Office. And Alka, I think you want to know that we have a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon here in Helsinki, and we are sure that your presentation will add up the sunlight and the light and the warmth into it. So a very warm welcome also to you, Alka. Thanks for joining us, and we are all ears. It's all yours now.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your very kind words. And Sunday afternoon is usually a time that we usually are relaxed a bit more than usual, than any other day. And so thank you to everybody who's online on this very special. Sundays are special because it's a bit quieter. And where there's quiet space, then there's more of a relaxed environment. And when there's quiet space, there's a relaxation, then it creates a safe and sacred space. And so for the next little while, let us just relax and tune in and be with each other. The words that will be shared are just words, but we're all connected. And that connection brings us together, binds us, and creates a very peaceful bond amongst us. Peace is a treasure. Peace is a very special space where when we experience it, then we don't want to let go of it. And peace is probably a passion for each one of us. That's why we're here this Sunday afternoon, to just explore a little bit more to how to create and how to maintain and how to nourish and how to nurture the peace that I experience. Because we're in a world where currently there's a lot of noise of media, of COVID, of so many variety of things. This is happening, that's happening. And so there's a lot of, together with noise, a lot of sound. Whereas peace is like a quiet, soothing experience where there's no noise, but there is a sound of beautiful, empowering energy. Peace is energy in which I experience true silence. As I step inwards, I turn around and I'm just quiet. Not only quietness by not speaking, but I gently reduce the traffic of my thoughts. I slow my inner thinking down. And I slowly come into the slow lane. And then I put my inner self in neutral gear and I'm just with myself. One of the greatest discoveries that I myself made during lockdown was discovering who I truly am. This body, this name, Alka, the clothes that I wear are just layers, are just labels for the body. But peace has no label. Silence has no label. It's an experience. And the soul seated in the center of the forehead, a sparkling, radiant point of light. And that's who I truly am. And I am that inner peace. The missing piece that I've been searching for. And not only am I that real peace, that missing piece, but I become a masterpiece in which I don't allow myself to get caught up in the pieces that are around me. The unbroken pieces of negativity, of conflict, of sorrow, of hurt, of harm, of the past. All these are broken pieces. Yet I gather my energy, I regain my inner strength, and I realign myself and recognize that I am the missing piece, the masterpiece in life's jigsaw puzzle. So how can I discover myself? That I am my greatest friend, and yet the human mind can also be my worst enemy. So it's a constant battle between being a good friend to myself and then coming against all the negativity that happens within myself. And the enemy comes. And there are no enemies outside. Enemy is in me. Enemy. If I see something peaceless, I become peaceless. Yet, the pure healing power of peace does not see the broken piece, but helps become a masterpiece to join the pieces. Now, how can I do that? By stepping inside every now and again, frequently. Every time I choose to pause, I'm regaining peace. Pause with passion. Pause with love. Pause, not because the time is saying, but because I would like to. Wherever there is an interest, I will make the night into day and the day into night. So let me practice pauseful moments. That's one way. Let me train my mind, exercise my mind daily. Let my mind be exercised in positive thoughts. Let me reflect on beautiful memories. Let me recapture beautiful memories so that I re-energize myself. Let me think and reflect each day on how things could have been better from the previous day. All these are very gentle, quiet, healing tips. Peaceful moments, reflection, thinking of beautiful memories. But peace requires daily, consistent practice. If something happens and then I want peace, from my own experience, and I'm sure many of you may also have such experiences, it's not so easy. Someone has said something, someone has done something, and then I try to be quiet or just be peaceful, then that's actually using peace in the wrong way. Oh, I should be quiet. It's better not to talk. No, peace requires the language of quiet communication through the vibrations that I generate. Whatever I see through these two physical eyes reveals my inner eye. If I'm practicing peace, then I'll become an expert in peace. But if I'm practicing worry, if I'm practicing conflict, if I'm practicing gossip, if I'm practicing criticism, all these are things that take me away from the power of peace. The inner peace is the real peace, the master peace. Let it be like my lucky charm that I am a masterpiece. No matter what, let me not lose that great asset for masterpiece, because it's very invaluable. It's my treasure. So let me capture it and keep recapturing it. Even if I get sidetracked, let me come back. Let me reset my mind. Let me realign my mind. Let me restart the mind on a positive note each day, each morning. Let me reboot the mind. So that I start afresh. What is my spiritual homepage? Is it peace or is it peacelessness? Only I can answer that question. Peace is around me if I choose to find where it is. Even in the most noisiest situation, in the most sorrowful situation, let me be a ray of hope, a ray of light, and spark an energy of pure peace. It just takes one little spark. It's the power of a second, the power of half a second. Just for example, if there's noise or if someone has done something, then let me choose my words. Yes, I can react, I can respond. Life is about reactions and responses. And when I'm coming from a peaceful state, then I'll be able to respond with love and peace and respect. But when I'm coming from a negative space, then I'll be reaction. I'll say reactive words. My behavior will be reactive. So life is about reflection and checking. How am I responding? Am I responding from a space of peace, a safe place where I experience love, respect, honesty, understanding, and where I feel valued? If I value myself, I'll value others and I'll feel safe. So what kind of inner environment do I hold on this Sunday afternoon? Is it a safe environment? Is it spiritually eco-friendly, where there's no room for anything harmful or any waste? Am I able to reset, reboot, and realign myself? I need inner training. I need to train peace, exercise my mind. Not that I avoid, but even whilst being in the heart of noise, in the heart of so much happening, let me bring that peace through my presence. My presence is a gift to the world. And during this time, the one thing that I can share is good wishes and peaceful vibrations to all those around me, who surround me, and all over the world. I can send those peaceful vibrations across Zoom, across the world, through the power of my thinking, through the thoughts that I generate. So my thoughts are reaching out. So what kind of thoughts are reaching out? Are they thoughts that are worth reaching out? Are those thoughts filled with love, respect, and peace? Even in the midst of negativity, even if there's someone who is totally annoying me, bringing frustration, it's out there, not in me. For me, if I have it, if I have love, I'll be able to respond with love. If I have peace, I'll be able to respond with peace. But if I'm a bit peaceless inside, if something's missing, then that's what will come out through my vibrations, through my attitude, through my thinking, because thoughts reach out faster than words. Thoughts vibrate. Thoughts reach automatically. Even if someone says, no, they don't, I'm okay, but you can tell through someone's vibration, you can pick up the vibrations. So the silence that I have, is it a silence with love, with patience? Is it a silence which is done through a passionful heart, a peaceful heart, in which the mind becomes full of peace, full of quiet, full of pure, positive energy? That energy will then help me and help all those around me. But only if I choose to practice peace can it help around. Whatever I practice, I become an expert in. If I practice worry, I'll become an expert in worry. If I practice peace, I will become an expert in peace. And so these are some of the thoughts that I've shared with you this afternoon. Some hopefully helpful suggestions. And I wish you well on your journey. And time races very fast. And peace has no time, because I can practice peace and live peace whenever I want, wherever I want. But it's up to me to keep choosing peace. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alka. How peaceful. At this time, if anyone has any questions or even comments, we would be very happy to get them. And as said, you can use the chat box for this. However, meanwhile waiting the questions and comments, Alka, I would like to kind of recap once again. You mentioned a lot of good qualities kind of associated with peace, but can you kind of repeat and run them again? What all kind of qualities do we associate with peace and peacefulness?
Peace is a positive energy. Peace is something that is there. And peace is a value. Peace is a virtue. Peace never stops, and peace is unlimited. But I need to practice and practice those pauseful moments to make it a treasure. Peace is a passion that I would like to strive for. Wherever there's a passion, then the heart will make room for it. Anytime, anywhere, 24 hours of the day. Peace has no limits. And it's something the world is wanting and wishes to experience. And it's just a thought and a time and a second away. And how? I need to first stop. Become still and quiet. Until I stop, there's no room for peace. There will be quietness, but I should choose to stop wantonly. When I wantonly stop, then there's an ocean of experiences. But it's about slowing down. Even if I feel like I'm so busy, I can't do it, that's okay. Let me slow down. Let me start somewhere. If you don't start, you'll never discover. And peace is a rediscovering process. Discover, rediscover. Discover it all the time and keep rediscovering, keep going back to it. How? Through silent reflection.
Thank you. Very, very powerful. You know, that peacefulness can be so powerful. And I really like that even if there's quietness, it doesn't mean peacefulness. And I also liked the way how you said, you know, enemy. There are no enemies outside. Enemy in me. Would you elaborate a little bit more also that, please?
During lockdown, there was a lot of time to be at home, as we all know. And so there was many situations happening and circumstances. And I was hearing a lot of unnecessary language being used. And I thought that everybody's entitled to a viewpoint, and everyone's entitled to opinions and to express their concerns. Yet the regard and the respect that every human being is entitled to was a bit missing. I felt, I could be wrong. And I thought that the moment someone is sharing something about someone, then that person's remark stops me from becoming remarkable, because I'm influenced by the remarks of others, because I remade it mine by believing that remark. And I said, that remark has caused someone else some pain or suffering, and they've lost their peace. So what is happening? And in a few seconds, I could be very close to someone, but it takes a few seconds to become like this because of our words or our behavior. And that creates animosity. And that animosity creates bad feelings. And where there's animosity and bad feelings, peace is not visible at all. And then I was thinking about the mind being so remarkable that 1 second it's a good mind, then the second it's a bad mind by thinking bad, but also taking on the remarks of others. So it becomes its own enemy. And then I was thinking about this enemy, and it's actually in me, because my mind thought it, or the thought arose in my mind. So someone may have done something, remarked about something, commented. They've done their part. That's their part. It's not my part. But I chose to think whatever I was thinking and made it my part when it's got nothing to do with me. And that's where we lose our energy in waste.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Alka. Very, very deep thing. Does anybody else want to say, yes, there is from Henna, if everyday life is hectic with a lot of interaction and tasks to do, is there some way to maintain peace even in the midst of all that? If there is not really a chance to take quiet moments then. So what else can you then do?
From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, is there any time? Usually there's no time. Yet the early morning hours and before I go to bed, I can choose the time to connect with myself, with the Supreme. And in the practice of Raj Yoga, the early morning hours are considered a very auspicious time to reconnect with yourself and to re-empower and to regain your energy for the rest of the day. And that early morning hours time, whether it's half an hour, 40 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, if I'm in that quiet space, then that time will help me for the rest of the day. But I've got to again create a minute, an hour, even 30 seconds. The clock is doing its job, is giving the time, but how I'm choosing the time, the clock is not dictating that. I'm dictating it. But we've become accustomed to say there's no time, no time. So there's no time. But if I say I have time, I want time, time will then serve me.
Makes perfect sense, Alka. Perfect sense. Thanks for Henna for the question. Anyone else, please? Now it's the time. However, I would still like to ask one more thing from you, Alka, that kind of challenging you a little bit. How do you see this? Because sometimes when something happens and we know that we value peacefulness and, without extra hassle. However, it almost feels as if the external society thinks it's very weird that you don't go into that hassle yourself, but you try to stay out and just kind of detached observer. Do you understand what I'm saying? That people start to think you're arrogant, you don't care, etc. So how do you overcome these kind of thoughts or perceptions by others?
It's a very fine line, because it's not that we have to be cold and detached and we're not interested, but it's because I was just thinking this morning that our words create a lot of weight. And so if we don't share particular words, it's as if, again, we could be labeled as not interested, not caring, not a number of things. But it's not a question of not caring. It's creating peace, is creating a culture of peace. And we're in a society which has lost that culture. It's there in each one, but it's overshadowed. And in the heart of the moment, I can offer a ray of hope. And it's like, even after all the words are being exchanged, I should be able to share something of significance, of meaning. And I can only do that when I've got quality of peaceful experience. Because quantity is out there. Excuse me. There's an over and abundance of quantity, but the quality of peace, or the quality of pulsefulness, vibrations, of a culture of peace, I have to bring in. And even if it's something that's new, it's up to me to bring in, if I feel so passionate about it. And when we don't agree with people, that's when other things start to come up. And yes, we may not agree, but again, each one is entitled to their opinion, to the way they see things, because life is like being on a cruise ship, and everybody is at a different point. And because they're at a different point, everybody's view is different. And so their viewpoints will also be different. And so each one of us are at a different point. So each one's view will be different. But it doesn't mean there's disharmony. It just means there's just a difference. But the respect and the regard and the inner peace that binds all the ingredients together is what creates a unified approach. And peace is not visible. Peace is experienced. It's a very invisible thread of love, a very strong thread which connects, which unites, which binds us, which we cannot see through these two physical eyes, but through the third eye, the real eye, the true eye.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alka. There don't seem to be any more comments or questions in the chat box. So would you conduct a guided meditation for us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
As I sit here comfortably in a relaxed position, I reflect on the things that I've just heard, experienced, and I relook and reflect. I go around and turn inwards and go inside my beautiful, safe, sacred space. A space in which I feel safe and secure. A space where I feel at peace. I, the soul, seated in the center of the forehead, a sparkling ray of pure white light, a light which is me, a light which never becomes dim, a pure, radiant energy. I am that pure, radiant energy. In my safe space, I feel valued, respected, understood. I feel honesty. I feel safe and respected with a lot of love. this love and peace and inner joy are all qualities of the original soul, the sparkling, radiant point of light. These qualities are who I truly am. Let me experience these beautiful moments for a few moments longer. And let me try and pack these moments away safely, that I can go back to these moments through the week during my next few days, amongst the daily things that I need to do. Let me come back to this moment and remember and recapture the pure energy of peace, inner peace that I experienced. And through this practice, I will feel I would like to go back again and again. I am a remarkable human being, and I am a soul who is a peaceful point of light. Remembering these qualities and attributes, I wish to say thank you to these qualities and attributes for being my friend, my guardian angel. Qualities are like my guardian angel. Defects and vices are not my property. Something that is not my property does not belong to me. So even if I have them and experience them, let me just put them away, aside. The qualities of peace, of joy are my friends, my guardian angels. So let me keep those guardian angels with me so they protect my inner being, my peaceful being. And as I slowly return, I feel refreshed and recharged. I feel re-energized. So let me try and take a dip in the ocean of this experience daily, a few times. As I return, I come back full of hope and extra peace, so that I'm able to do extraordinary things. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Alka. How sweet meditation, and maybe kind of a challenge, as you said, that recalling these moments with you today in our challenges next week, and maybe never even leave that meditation mode. We still have time if anyone wants to comment. There is a comment from Gitte. Thank you, Alka. So wonderful meditation. We all agree with that. Anything else anybody wants to say? Meanwhile, when I ask one more final question, Alka, how soon would you dare to say there are results when we start practicing daily, even 5-10 minutes per day? How soon can we expect some results?
When we wish to achieve something, then there's something that helps motivate us to keep us going. And we're not really after the result, but it's the journey that is the adventure. And so to say the result is the end. Yet the practice, the first step is to give the time, and that is a beautiful result. You yourself giving yourself the time. Then there's the willingness. Then there's the patience with yourself. And then it will start, and it's starting and starting. So thank yourselves for being here this afternoon. Thank yourselves for rerouting yourself to be here, because you could have chosen to be elsewhere because of the demands of times and priorities, but you made this a priority. So that in self is a result. And you'll have even more greater results, because whoever's here online, if not today, tomorrow, next week, at some point, they will recall this moment, re-look at this moment, whenever it's right for them. And they will recapture it and create this treasure that they have in themselves and make it their own treasure.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alka. And yes, if some of us are here today for the first time, the practice has obviously started. So thank you, Alka. We learned a great deal, and it's very encouraging to look at you, because as we said, you have a long spiritual path, and the peacefulness really radiates from you. So you are a very good example for this practice. Thank you, Alka, once again for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a nice evening, and may your rest of the day be as peaceful and sunny as each one of you.
Likewise. All the best to London, Alka. See you soon.
Okay.
Here, physically.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, sweet sister, angel of peace.